Hello, this is Midday News. I'm Jasmine Irajak. A new Level 4 hospital will be built at 9 Mile in the Port Moresby Northeast electorate. A groundbreaking ceremony was held yesterday to signify the start of this project. Member for Moresby Northeast John Cowper said the establishment of this facility will enable the residents of 9 Mile to access health services at their doorstep instead of going miles to seek this vital service.
Now police station is tabla hub. Nubla police station mi blind of him yet. Inside of this you look him market is tabla hub. Inside of this you look him now housing level 4 housing by all building tamblo today you become witness to.
Governor of West New Britain Sasindran Muthuvel conducted a first-hand inspection of the ice bridge connecting Kandrian Station to neighboring villages over the weekend. Shocked by its dilapidated state, Governor Muthuvel vowed to escalate the issue to authorities, promising to offer counterpart support for its restoration. The bridge's degradation poses a grave threat to transportation and livelihoods in the region as it is a vital link, prompting urgent calls for action. The Goilala district in Central Province presented its 2019 to 2023 acquittals to the Department of Implementation and Rural Development yesterday. CEO of Goilala DDA, Titus Girao, in presenting the acquittals, said the lack of consistency in leadership at the district has prolonged the reports.
Since I got replaced in 2019, it's about leadership. When there is the leadership, you get these things presented, as and when required. But because of that high turnover, we kept it until this time. I got reinstated again in November 2021. And as a result, we also decided that we will try our level best to present what is required of us as a district.
Over 60 staff from the Department of Information and Communication Technology and National Superannuation Fund attended an intense one-day training recently with CyberCX to counter cyber threats. CyberCX is the leading provider of professional cybersecurity services across the UK, US, Australia and New Zealand. Taking necessary cyber precautionary measures is crucial to safeguarding personal information and valuable data, especially for public servants and trusted experts in fields like superannuation. With the rapid increase of internet users in PNG, cybersecurity is essential to raise awareness and equip both staff and internet users overall. After 12 long years of service as the United Church moderator of PNG, Reverend Bernard Siai is stepping down. With so many challenges faced along the years, Reverend Siai feels satisfied with the achievements he has accomplished and the vision he continues to see for the church. He will officially do the handover in November 2024.
It's a long journey for me and very, very challenging journey. Why I said it's challenging because I served in the remote part of the church for I think almost half of my ministry. I served in the remotest part of the church, and for me to be given the trust to come to the highest office of the church, it's sort of like very challenging. My experience is good. I have a lot of experience in the church, but performing in this office is a challenging thing for me. How do I influence the church to be together?
To overseas, experts are calling for more support for people suffering from long COVID. New death New data shows a large number of West Australians have been left unable to work due to crippling symptoms.
For Heike Motzek, wearing a mask is still a necessary precaution. With lingering symptoms from COVID-19, she's worried about reinfection.
That becomes this all-consuming almost fear to go into shops, to go to work, to be closely surrounded by people not wearing masks.
She describes her main symptom as burning and numbness in her chest.
And this is what I feel all the time, every single day, with every breath that I take, with every exercise that I do, and it never goes away.
In 2022, during an outbreak of the Omicron variant, the Australian National University surveyed 11,000 West Australians who tested positive to COVID. Almost 20% of those surveyed were still suffering symptoms 3 months after being diagnosed.
When we see the number of symptoms, the majority have multiple symptoms.
The study found common symptoms of fatigue, memory loss and concentration difficulties.
More than 1 in 6 of those who used to work before their infection who were not able to return to work or study due to their ongoing symptoms.
I think there's some conflicting views globally around the impact of long COVID, but we continue to watch it closely.
Ms Motzek wants a wider range of people suffering from long COVID to have access to antiviral medication. To access antivirals in WA, you need to be either over the age of 70, over 50 with one of the listed risk factors, or if you're over 18, you need to be immunocompromised, leaving people like Ms Motzek to manage themselves.
Health experts warn young generations are being hooked on nicotine vapes, but very few shops are being taken to court for selling the contraband, and the fines available are being criticised as ludicrously low.
Wales Health is trying to crack down on the illegal sale of nicotine vapes. After 3 visits to this shop in Sydney South, 1,400 nicotine vapes were seized. On the next visit, they witnessed another nicotine e-cigarette being sold.
The economic incentives for unlawful behaviour are too high.
Over 18 months until the end of last year, New South Wales Health took 12 people and businesses to court for illegally selling nicotine vapes. For each offence, they were fined between $400 and $1,200.
The fines are ludicrously low. The current legislation is really out of date.
7 of the 12 businesses continued to sell vapes after they received a warning, had stock seized, or were convicted in court.
The fines are far less than the cost of doing business.
Health authorities seized more than 400,000 e-cigarettes last year.
We focus on seizing the product, getting the product out of the supply chain, getting it away from young people.
According to New South Wales Health, one vape can contain the same amount of nicotine as 50 cigarettes.
It is the biggest public health crisis young people face at the moment, and I don't think the penalties are high enough right now.
The state government wants to mirror a bill recently introduced by the Commonwealth. If it passes, people caught supplying vapes could face fines of up to $2.2 million or up to 7 years in prison. A ban on importing disposable vapes, but it will take time for supplies to dry up.
There are millions of vapes in the country.
Stock which could last months or years.
Police are again voicing their concerns about Victoria's youth crime problem after 5 teenagers allegedly led them on a chase through Melbourne last night before being arrested. The teens aged between 15 and 17 were known to police and will face multiple charges, including attempted burglary and robbery.
Their alleged crime spree and joyride across Melbourne finally brought to an end.
They're not laughing in our presence when they're on the other side of the door here.
It started at 10:40 last night at this IGA in Armidale, where a worker says while he was closing, the group tried to rob him, chasing him down the street before wresting his keys from him and trying to break into the store. They then made off with his car.
That was basically the most terrible, most scariest moment I've ever gone through.
I'm a bit concerned that my customers and my staff are my family and they don't get hurt.
From Armidale, the group then headed to Hawthorn East, where they attempted to rob this petrol station before dumping the car and piling into another stolen vehicle and leading police on a high-speed chase through Carlton, Blackburn and the CBD, before coming to a stop in Ascot Vale by officers using road spikes.
We're very serious about stopping the offending.
2 15-year-olds, a 16-year-old and 2 17-year-olds were arrested. The group faced multiple charges, including theft of a motor vehicle, attempted burglary and robbery. Police have made more than 1,400 arrests related to aggravated burglaries and car thefts since launching a dedicated overnight task force 12 months ago. But they say repeat youth offenders remain a serious challenge. Of the 5 teenagers arrested yesterday, 3 were on bail.
I can say we're frustrated to a certain degree with the activities of the children, but we work within the laws of Victoria, so we're bound by those.
The teenagers will face court at a later date.
And that ends the Midday News. Join us for more at 6 p.m. Bye now.